Okay, year 8, welcome to your tutorial on factorising. Today we are going to look at what factorising algebraic expressions is and how we do it. So let's begin. Factorising is really not all that complicated, the idea of it. Sometimes when we actually attempt to factorise, it gets a little bit more tricky, but the idea is pretty straightforward. Factorising is the opposite to expanding. So for the last two lessons, we've been looking at expanding expressions. Today we're going to be looking at factorising. It involves breaking down an expression into smaller factors and putting it back into the brackets. We factorise by finding common factors that each part of our expression go into, so both our numbers and our pronumerals. Namely, the kind of factors we're looking for are the highest common factors. So we look for the highest common factors of all our numbers and all of our pronumerals in order to work it out. Now, how we do that, to find the highest common factor, we must first find the highest common factor of the numbers, then we must find the highest common factor of the pronumeral parts. So first we look at the numbers, then we look at the pronumerals. Then we multiply the two together. So it's not too tricky. Now, let's have a look at what all of that is. So it says, factorise the expression 2x plus 6. Now, these are the kind of things that we were looking at, the kind of expressions that we were looking at once we had taken them out of the brackets. Now I need to put that back into brackets. Okay, so when I expanded it, what would have it looked like originally? First thing I do is I work out the factors, okay? I'm looking for the highest common factor of 2 and 6. So I put my 2 down, I put my 6 down, and okay, so what are numbers that go into 2? Not that 2 go into, but that go into 2. Okay, the first factor of 2 is 1. 1 goes into 2 twice, and 2 goes into 2 twice. Now, what are the factors of 6? Okay, 1 goes into 6, 2 goes into 6, 3 goes into 6, 4 doesn't go into 6 evenly, 5 doesn't go into 6 evenly, and 6 goes into 6. Okay, now I'm looking for the highest number that's the same between them. And I notice here on this list that I've got a 2 and that I've got a 2, which means my highest common factor for 2 and 6 is 2. Now, what do I do with this? I write my highest common factor on the outside of the brackets, and then I put some brackets in and I leave a gap. Now, 2 multiplied by what would get me 2x? 2 multiplied by what? No. Oh, okay. 2 multiplied by x would give me 2x. Now, 2 multiplied by what would get me 6? Okay, I've worked it out. 2 multiplied by 2, 4, 3. Okay, so 2x plus 6, if I factorise it or put it back into brackets, becomes 2x plus 3. Now, I quickly make sure to check that I'm fine. If you want, you can work it out again. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times positive 3 is plus 6. Yep, that's the same as that, so I must have factorised correctly. So when I factorise, guys, it means to put it back into brackets. I can check that I've factorised correctly by re-expanding it, but I factorise by finding the highest common factor. Now, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, it says factorise the following: 12gh subtract hg. Okay, so again, I'll deal with my numbers first. Okay, I'll deal with my numbers first. So I've got 12 and I've got 8. Okay, let's do the factors of 12. 1 goes into 12, 2 goes into 12, 3 goes into 12 evenly, 4 goes into 12 evenly, 5, yeah, oh no, wait, no, it doesn't go into 12 evenly. 6 goes into 12 evenly, 7 doesn't, 8 doesn't, 9 doesn't, 10 doesn't, 11 doesn't, 12 does, okay? So they're my factors of 12. They're all my numbers that go into 12 evenly, okay? 1 goes into 12 12 times, 2 6 times, 3 4 times, 4 3 times, 6 twice, and 12 once. Let's do my factors of 8. 1 goes into 8, 2 goes into 8, 4 goes into 8, 5. Oh, no, wait, no, 5 doesn't. 6 goes into 8, 7 doesn't go into 8. Oh, okay, 6 does, okay. So it must be 8's my last one. They're all my factors. Now, from that list, I'm looking for the biggest number that's present in both of those lists. 8 is the biggest one here. It's not in this one. 4, oh, wait, I've got 4 there and 4 there. Okay, so I know I put my 4 on the outside of my brackets. This question's a little bit different, though. There's also something else with my pronumerals. I have GH there. and G on this side. Now, if I have GH and G, there's a common pronumeral amongst those two. What is it? GH and G. What number appears twice in those? Oh, the number that appears twice is G. So it's 12GH and 8G. I've got a G there and a G there. So that's another common factor amongst my pronumerals. So I've dealt with my numbers, now I'm looking at my pronumerals. G is a common number amongst the two. As soon as I have a common number amongst the two of them, guys, that becomes the highest common factor as well, or a common factor. So I can actually put 4G on the outside of my brackets. Okay, and now I'll put the brackets there like I did last time and see if I can work it out. What do I multiply 4G by to get 12H? Okay, let's deal with my numbers first. 4 multiplied by what gets me 12? Well, 4 multiplied by 3 gets me 12. Now, I can't put a G because if I write 3G like this, I know G multiplied by G is G squared, so that's not what my answer is. So I have to be careful that I don't put another G in. So I know that 4G multiplied by 3 is 12G, but my original thing says 12GH. So I have to add an H there on the end of that 3. Okay, so 4G multiplied by 3H becomes 12GH. Then 4G multiplied by what gets me negative 8G? 4G multiplied by what gets me negative 8G? Oh, that's easy. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and I know if my answers are negative, I must put a negative sign in here. So let me just check that I did that right. 4G multiplied by 3H, 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, G multiplied by H is GH, G multiplied by negative 2, 4 multiplied by negative 2 is negative 8G. Is that the same as that? Oh, sweet, it is. I've done it right. Okay, guys, so it's a matter of looking at the factors and taking it one by one. One step, deal with my numbers first, then deal with my pronumerals.